This is Daily Armenia, CivilNet's daily news digest. Here's what you need to know today. Fallout continues from Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan's major address yesterday to the European Parliament, where he appeared to accuse Russia of trying to topple his government and lashed Russia's peacekeepers in Nagorno-Karabakh for failing to prevent Azerbaijan's lightning offensive against the region last month. Our security allies not only did not help us, but also made public calls for regime change in Armenia, Pashinyan told European lawmakers. In response today, TASS, Russia's largest state-run news agency, published an article comparing Pashinyan to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. We see how they are trying to turn Armenia into a third Ukraine if we count Moldova as a second Ukraine, and Pashinyan is following in Zelenskyy's footsteps by leaps and bounds. TASS cited an unnamed high-ranking source in Moscow as saying. The source reportedly added, "We consider Pashinyan's speech absolutely irresponsible and provocative." Pashinyan's visit to Brussels came as Armenia's ties with Russia continue to fray, while relations with Europe are expanding. Armenia would like to deepen ties with the EU as much as the EU finds it possible, Pashinyan said yesterday. Maria Zakharova, the spokesperson for Russia's foreign ministry, announced today Yerevan, Baku, and Moscow have reached a preliminary agreement on restoring a key regional railway, noting the Kremlin considers the resumption of transit between Armenia and Azerbaijan as crucial to any future peace deal. The deputy prime ministers of Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Russia, who had a joint working group on restoring regional trade routes, have reportedly reached a common understanding regarding the implementation of specific steps to restore a railway running through Azerbaijan's Nakhichevan exclave and Armenia's southernmost Syunik region. No other details were made immediately available. Unblocking transport communications in the South Caucasus is a key element of Armenian-Azerbaijani normalization, Zakharova added in comments given exclusively to Trend, one of Azerbaijan's many pro-government news agencies. The November 2020 ceasefire declaration signed by Armenia and Azerbaijan and brokered by Russia includes a commitment to reopening all economic and transport connections in the region, but nothing has come of it so far. Dunja Mijatović, Human Rights Commissioner at the Council of Europe, is in Armenia today for talks with senior officials and meetings with people forcibly displaced from their homes in Nagorno-Karabakh in the aftermath of Azerbaijan's offensive last month. In a statement, Pashinyan's office said the Prime Minister spoke with Mijatović today about the international community's next steps to help the more than 100,000 people forcibly displaced from Nagorno-Karabakh. Earlier, Mijatović traveled with the head of Armenia's state-run Human Rights Defender's Office, Anahit Manasyan, to the Vayotszor region, where she met with people from Nagorno-Karabakh to hear their stories of displacement. Mijatović's meetings in Armenia come as part of a broader schedule of travel in the region, which is also set to include visits to Azerbaijan and Nagorno-Karabakh. In related news, Pashinyan met earlier this week with the head of the Council of Europe, Maria Zakharova, as part of an official visit to Brussels. Pashinyan and Zakharova also discussed the issue of people forcibly displaced from Nagorno-Karabakh, according to readouts of the talks. The Council of Europe, an international organization that focuses on strengthening democracy, human rights, and the rule of law across more than 40 countries, is separate from the EU. You can also check out our latest interview with Hasmik Yeghyan, the former director of the Security Council Affairs Division at the United Nations. Hasmik sat down with us this week to talk about the UN's failure to ensure the safety of Nagorno-Karabakh's Armenians and what their forcible displacement from their homes means for the UN moving forward. You can find the full conversation up now on civilnet.am. You can also watch The Last Days in Artsakh, a compilation of the final footage our reporters in Nagorno-Karabakh were able to shoot before they were displaced from their homes and joined the mass exodus to Armenia. From 2020 to 2023, CivilNet was the only outside news organization with a permanent office in Stepanakert, providing real-time on-the-ground coverage of developments in and around Nagorno-Karabakh. The full video is up now on our website and YouTube channel. And finally, the CivilNet number of the day is 47,322. That's the number of forcibly displaced people from Nagorno-Karabakh who are now living in accommodations provided by the Armenian government, according to the latest official figures. Tens of thousands of others are either staying with relatives or renting their own housing. Another several thousand have already left Armenia for other countries, mainly Russia. And as always, please follow CivilNet for the latest news and independent reporting from our contributors on the ground here in Armenia.